I'm displeased. I'm displeased because I'm basically playing this mission over again, but oh well. I know I've actually already beaten Besiege, but when I beat it last time, it crashed right at the last thematic, so I'm doing it over again, so you can basically see a thematic. Let's do it.
This is it, Commander. The freaks have us under siege, and we're suffering wave upon wave of mutants. The one advantage we have is that they've left their own camps nearly empty. If we can fight through them, then their bases and this whole battle for the surface will be ours. Take a look at your display. Most of the mutant forces are headed around towards... Damn. Anyway, you can't miss them. Be wary, Commander. Whatever the outcome, the war ends today. We'll see you.
Alright then, mission briefing. Besieged! Mutants have our main bunker under siege, but have left their own bases virtually undefended. Protect the base as you work your way through the enemy. Then push through them and destroy their base! Alright, let's do this. Get this right here. Get that right there. Get these built right here. Get that going there. Get that going right there. Start playing some SWAT.
Construction completed. Construction completed.
Reporting for duty. Receiving. Yes. Yeah. Reporting
Construction
for duty.
completed.
Ready. Yes. Yes, sir. Alrighty then. Ready. Yes. Yes, sir. Alrighty then. Ready. Yes. Reporting for duty. Yes, sir. Alrighty then. Ready. Yes. Yes, sir. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Ready. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
Construction completed.
Ready. Receiving. Reporting for duty. Ready. Yes. Reporting for duty. Yes. Moving. Moving. Receiving. Alrighty then. Yep. Alrighty then.
Research started.
Receiving. Yes. Yep. Alrighty then. For duty. Alrighty then. Moving. Reporting for duty. Moving. Yes. Reporting for duty. Moving. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Duty. Alrighty then.
Tech level
Reporting for
increased.
duty. Alrighty then.
Research started.
Yep. Yes. Receiving. Alrighty then. Yep. Yes. Yes. Alrighty then. Yes. Moving. 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 Yes. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Alrighty then.
Tech level increased. Research started.
Ready. Alrighty then. Yes, sir. Alrighty then. Reporting for duty. Ready. Alrighty then. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Alrighty then. Reporting for duty. Receiving. I'll take it.
Research completed.
Receiving. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Yep. Alrighty then. Reporting for duty. Receiving. Alrighty then. Reporting for duty. Yep. Reporting for duty. Alrighty then. Moving. Yes. Reporting for duty. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Reporting for duty.
That worked out well.
Yep. Yes.
Tech level increased. Research started.
Yes, sir. Duty. Moving. Ready. Receiving. Okay. Ready. Receiving. Moving.
I'm doing a lot here, but basically, like, you know,
Tech level increased.
I'll note the do this mission, you have to sort of defend yourself really early on,
Research
and like get resources basically underway real fast.
Yes, sir.
Preferably, like, you know, in the same manner, which I didn't do, but oh well.
Alrighty then. Receiving. Yes. Reporting for duty. Yeah. Yes. Receiving. Okay.
We're just gonna kill off these guys down here real quick.
I'll take it. Okay. I'll take it.
Excellent.
Reporting for duty.
Research start.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Reporting for duty. Receiving. Yes, sir. Alrighty then. Ready. Yes. Yes, sir. Moving. I'm listening. Yes, sir. Moving.
The infantry over here.
Ready. Moving. Yes, sir.
Research complete.
Receiving. Ready. Alrighty then. Moving. Yes, sir. Yeah. Ready. Moving. Yes, sir. I'll take it.
This is a little pointless. We're just gonna attack this, like, guy's grape shot can over here.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Okay.
Or else just to force him to, like, you know, waste resources, like rebuilding it. Or anything else.
Moving. Receiving. Alrighty then. Yeah. Alrighty then. Receiving. Yes, sir. Moving. Moving. Ready. Alrighty then. Yes, sir. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Moving. Receiving. Yes. Yeah. Ready. Moving.
As you see, they like to come in a line over here, so
Reporting for duty. Yes, sir. Alrighty. Reporting for duty.
cover this approach here pretty good.
Ready. Alrighty then. Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. Receiving. Okay. Reporting for duty.
Research start.
Moving.
fine. I can flee a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Research completed.
Reporting for duty.
Let's get this built now, so you can actually see it off in action.
Receiving. Alrighty then. Reporting for duty.
We'll get our sniper is basically up and running now.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Let's get some extra turrets over here for now. They're mostly just there to sort of stopgap the red from like getting close to me, so that's fine.
Yeah. Yes. Reporting for duty. Receiving. Moving.
Just gonna use these guys for defense for now.
Reporting for duty. Moving. Reporting for duty. Excellent. Yes, sir. Reporting for duty. Ready.
There we go. Those are built.
Receiving. Yes, sir. Building under repair.
We're repairing that up.
Reporting for duty. Yeah. Alrighty then. Reporting for duty.
And yes, I got a very solid defense for destroying this guy with.
Receiving. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
About time this guy came with this stuff.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. I'll take it. Reporting for duty.
You guys need to push this way.
Yes. Reporting for duty. I'm listening. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Yeah, I'm good here. Alright, let's press in and destroy this guy.
Ready. Yeah, I'm ready. Reporting for duty.
Gotta say, I really like the Evolve, like, you know, mission because it's a lot easier basically to tell which, like, you know, which faction's which. This guy's basically a Dark Red and the, like, you know, other guy down there, so...
Reporting for duty. Taken.
It's a lot easier basically to see. Alright, let's go to the back of the other guy's base through this way.
For duty. Yes. Reporting for duty. Yeah. Yes.
I know there's two ways basically to attack this guy's base down here, so we're just gonna take like this, the, you know, the northern route.
Reporting for duty. Receiving. I'm there. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Yeah. I'm there. Reporting for duty. Consider it.
Let's take out this gun.
Reporting for duty. I'm there. Consider it dead. Receiving. Reporting for duty. Yeah. Consider it dead.
Not sure you'll probably see that, but let's get an airstrike just hit right there. So there's the airstrike for like the survivors, by the way. Just they drop a bomb. It detonates and does damage around the area.
Reporting for duty. Yeah. I'm there. Receiving. Okay. Yeah. Reporting for duty. I'm there. Receiving. I'm there. Yep. Our tank is under attack.
Interesting, it went up there.
I'll take it. Okay. I'm there. Consider it dead. Receiving. Okay. I'm there. Consider it dead. Reporting for duty. Yeah. Consider it dead. Reporting for duty. I'm there. Consider it dead. Consider it dead. Ready. Alrighty then. Yes, sir. Consider it dead. Yeah. Alrighty then. Receiving. I'm there.
Alright, let's wait about this guy's base over here.
Consider it dead. Consider it dead.
I don't expect much more resistance from this guy, so...
Consider it dead.
Let's wipe up what he's got.
I'll take it. Ready. Consider it receiving. Reporting for day.
There's a couple gun turrets over here, by the way, but whatever.
Yeah. Consider it dead. Moving. Okay.
And there's the mission complete.
The war of 2140 had winners. With strength, determination, and expert leadership, the freaks and all their little freak towns were destroyed, thus ending the unnatural cycle of the world. The survivors survived once again and received the Earth, our true inheritance. With skilled hands, we restored the land to its former glory, and once again, we improved upon it. It's great to be back.
Alright, well, that was basically the Survivor's final mission there for KKND. Now, I know I gave a little spiel basically at the end of the Evolve campaign, and there's actually a couple things I sort of missed besides the fact that KKND basically had a lot of improvements as well. So I'll note that basically before when I was basically talking about the Evolve, I noted how basically the game here, it basically allows you to build multiple units from the same facility all at once, which is something CNC never did. They always has so it's basically a priority one thing at a time. So you want to build a commando, but you're building 5 riflemen. You got to build your 5 riflemen before you can build your commando, or you can basically build them in what order basically you select them in. But KKND was basically very interesting when the fact that basically allow you to basically build everything all at once. It just slows it down a little bit, which is interesting. I also note that basically they did a lot of other stuff with the veterancy system right there, and they had a very quick match type of feel as opposed to CNC's very drawn out affairs and such. But something I failed to mention is the fact that they had some interesting ideas for technicians and engineers basically for their game here. The engineers from CNC basically when they were used, they always captured the building, or in the case of Red Alert, they basically damaged it first and then captured it. But KKND basically had the idea of the saboteur basically goes in, kills lots of guys that are inside defending the building itself, and then they actually take it over. And they also have technicians who basically fix your own structures, which is a way of basically breaking down those units that are not as specialized, I guess, $500 for 500 credits basically in CNC for a single unit, or you can just build in this one it's a very cheap unit to do one specific order and such. I don't feel ERA approach is bad, but it's something to point out there. They didn't have any APCs though, so you didn't really see me doing a lot of engineer type rushes in this game because there's really no point. If I'm just going to destroy buildings, I'm just going to build up guys to destroy the buildings. I'll use technicians, but then it's that's all I'm really using the guys for is repairing a structure or two. All right, so outside of that, I will note there is some new missions you can basically play in KKND Extreme. I'll basically show those off when I get around to it. But we're just going to wait for the credits here to basically pop up again for the survivors, get through all that, basically. And, yeah, I'll note that basically, as I sort of said in the Evolve, little, snippet, I don't really think much of KKND Extreme. I find it's, too quick. Well, here's the thing. I'll note that it basically has a much quicker gameplay, but I'm not really a fan of quicker gameplay. I'm more of a, take my time to slowly, gather resources and then, take out the enemy. But this game is basically more about you basically get your resources really, really fast, you build up a force really, really fast, and you hit the enemy really fast. And that's fine and all for a quick type of gameplay affair, but I prefer more drawn out affairs where you build up a base slowly and you tech up and you take out the enemy after you have a suitable force to do so. So to mention it, Grey Goo is basically a good example of a game where you really have to build up your bases in that game, and when you're strong enough, basically you take them out. So a good example of a game, obviously, sort of as opposed to this one, which I don't. But I wasn't really playing KKND to basically, play it because I liked it. I played it because, I wanted to basically experience what, it was basically doing that, CNC adopted. And, I can say, there's a lot of stuff that, KKND Extreme is basically, touted as being a knockoff of CNC, but it is very much its own thing, and it deserves its credit for that. So, well done to the developers. I certainly enjoyed the game. Well, I enjoyed what they basically did with their their gameplay elements, as opposed to, like, you know, this thing is like, you know, some cheap CNC knockoff. They had their own innovations, and it's worth noting that. Now, I will note there is like a KKND 2, but we'll basically get to that after I get to a new mission, so there'll be a little bit, you know, a ways before we, like, you know, we get to see what the third faction that was introduced to this game is all about. And yes, there's actually a third faction in, like, the second game, so I guess they sort of, like, you know, well, I wouldn't say they copied StarCraft, because I don't think they made the game before or after, you know, really, like, you know, I think they made it after StarCraft, but I don't think they made it that far after, so there's that. But whatever. That's something to basically check out in the wiki, I guess. We'll see if, like, you know, KKND Extreme 2 basically came out before or after StarCraft. And yes, we're waiting like a good 5 minutes here for, like, you know, the credits basically to pop up. I will note, by the way, that, like, you know, the idea of the aircraft, by the way, in this game is actually kind of interesting for how they basically did. And there's the credits, of course, popping up right now. So I'll shut up and you guys watch it if you want. So here's the credits. Actually, let's continue. Why not? I'll note that the aircraft were actually, like, you know, an interesting idea for, like, you know, KKND. They basically turned them into, like, the nukes of this game, as opposed to, like, you know, CNC, which basically had aircraft and nukes being separate, but whatever. I'm at least glad I got to show off how to properly use the aircraft in this, like, you know, mission, by the way. I'll note the idea of, like, the aircraft is they're basically made to, like, you know, bomb, like, a group of units like that and, like, do a lot of damage, because as you saw, like, with the Evolve, like, campaign, when I used the Wasp basically, like, to drop a bomb, they only did a little bit of damage to the structures, but when you basically drop on a bunch of units, they do a lot of damage to the units, so you can wipe out, like, entire forces really easily with them. It's probably worth noting, by the way, there isn't a whole lot of, like, you know, people who worked on this game, because this is actually a very small RTS as like, compared to, like, you know, well, I suppose CNC was also pretty small at this time, but, you know, there's not a whole lot of people, like, required to basically build some of these, like, you know, these games. You do need to have, like, a certain amount of people, but they did it with, like, a fairly small team, so you have to give them credit for that. And yeah, I'll note the script for, like, you know, it's worth knowing that this is a very, like, you know, corny type of game, and it's sort of like, it's like, you know, full like, you know, sort of like cinematics and stuff like that. But you have to sort of appreciate the fact that, like, you know, they put a lot of love into, like, the characters, and they made them, like, really stand out, even if they were, like, sort of over the top. Apparently, Craig Outerburn basically made a manual. You know, it's worth knowing the music in this game, there isn't a whole lot of it, but you'll actually find there's actually a lot more when actually you get to play, like, the additional missions. So that'll be fun. And just slowly getting through this all. And there's the people from Electronic Arts who basically, like, you know, helped out in this game, I guess. And there we go. I'll jump into the additional missions next, but for now, hope you guys basically enjoyed the Survivors campaign as well as the Evolve from before. Take care. Oh yeah, I was going to look up StarCraft and when it basically came out versus KKND 2. So let's do that, I guess. Let's go. Well, first things first, let's go KKND Extreme. We'll go to Wikipedia, I guess. So basically, like, you know, KKND 2 was basically released in 1998. KKND was basically released in 1997. And then there's also a spin-off that was basically canceled, that's fine. Now, we basically look at StarCraft. Note that basically StarCraft came out, I believe, in 1998. Yeah, 1998. So these games, basically, they're like, you know, they came out like fairly close to each other. So, I suppose like if you look at this guy, it basically came out like, you know, June, August, October. So October basically is when this basically came out for like people in like, you know, North America. So this is, you know, this game basically like, you know, they're both probably like in production at the same time, these games, but whatever. Alright, well, that's basically enough of like, you know, the campaign. So if you guys basically enjoyed them, take care.